All right, Anthony on Air podcast back for another episode. On this show, President Joe Biden calls Peter Doocy a stupid son of a bitch. Plus, Brian Laundrie is cleared of wrongdoing in the double slaying in Utah. Ghislaine, the retrial, if it does go down, it'll go down without one of the key witnesses. A judge here in New York has ruled against a mask mandate. Neil Young puts an ultimatum to Spotify, him or Joe Rogan. Michael Cohen says that Trump at one point told him if somebody's going to go to jail, it should be Don Jr. and not Ivanka. Eric Clapton claims the vaccinated are under hypnosis. Taylor Swift was slammed for not writing her own songs. And if you could only save 5 Pixar movies, what would you save? All that and more on this episode of the Anthony on Air podcast. I have to say, Frank, you've never looked better. This is...
Well, thank you. Fuck Trump.
Jay Sabs is here for the start of the show. Frankie C is not. We'll address that at the end of the program. Jay Sabs, how are you?
Well, if you could only believe it. That's another story.
Okay.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into Joe Biden calling Peter Doocy a stupid son of a bitch. I was saying how my favorite TV show these days is Peter Doocy versus Jen Psaki. I think the two of them sparring is a nice little thing I like to keep track of. Today, actually moments ago, and credit Brian Stetler for putting this up on Twitter. We thank him for the link. Peter Doocy was shouting out a question. So when they do these things, sometimes the White House or wherever they are, they'll do photo ops or they'll do a quick question or two, and then they clear the room out. That's what happened. Peter Doocy did not get to ask his question. A couple of reporters shouted stuff out as they were being, ushered out of the room. And Peter Doocy asked Joe Biden if he thought inflation is a political liability in the midterms, to which Joe Biden responded by calling him a stupid son of a bitch. Here is the clip.
Do you think inflation is a political liability?
That's a great asset. More inflation. What a stupid son of a bitch.
This is why I love the internet, because proof.
Now, this reminds me of, do you remember when Obama called Kanye a jackass?
Yes.
That was a huge story for days.
This is going to be a good one.
And call me an old fogey, even though I enjoyed it.
You are an old fogey.
I felt like the president should be above that kind of stuff. I felt it then, and I kind of feel it now, even though... I know both sides are sparring here. I think the president of the United States should be above calling somebody a stupid son of a bitch.
Do you want me to answer as me, or do you want me to answer as Frank?
No, answer as you. We know what Frank would say. Frank would agree with him.
Or do you want me to make the faces that Frank makes while I'm answering a question?
He doesn't make faces when you answer a question.
Are you...
I don't know. I'm too busy doing the show.
You're too busy. You're too busy looking at your own eyebrows in the video. Just kidding.
I can't control them. They're out of control.
No. I think it's hysterical. But this, like I said, this is why I love the internet, because we have this forever. Thank you. But yeah, I mean, you don't really do that. Do we know if he was getting annoyed beforehand, or he just hates this guy?
I wonder. I think it's become obvious that Peter Doocy is the guy now. Kind of the way for Trump. What's his name was the guy from CNN.
Oh.
Jesus, I just had his name. They gave him a weekend show.
Well, Peter Doocy sounds like such an annoying name anyway. That's such an annoying fucking name.
It is an annoying. Jim Acosta. Thank you. Jim Acosta. Jim Acosta used to do the same shit. When it was a Trump administration, this was Jim Acosta's job, to have the ball busting questions. You know
what I'm going to do? I'm going to find this, save it as audio on my phone, and when my husband calls, that's what it's going to play.
Just the way he says it so dismissively.
That's why it's funny. Play it again, please.
That's a great asset. More inflation. What a stupid son of a bitch.
First of all, he sounds a little high. Like he's like, "This son of a bitch."
Yeah.
Unless that's just him because it's Biden.
That'd be great if he was high off his ass. If you go back to the 420 show, that's exactly how I looked and sounded. That's just all squinting all the time.
Son of a bitch. I'm sorry, but it's funny. It's funny.
It's hysterical. And now people are like, how? Like he had to know. He doesn't know. Like this.
No, he doesn't.
Because this people, you hear the microphone in front of somebody, they don't necessarily hear it back. Whether this is on or off is unbeknownst to people that sit in rooms with these things. They can't. There's no.
Plus, he's old too. Like old people don't really know technology that well.
That is true. That is true. Even if there was a monitor putting the audio back at him, he still probably wouldn't hear it.
Right.
Because he's old.
And even if he's done it a million times before, do you think he remembers? Especially now?
No.
No.
And I also think you get to a certain point where you just flat out don't care anymore as an old person.
No.
Which, by the way, and to Trump's credit too, I feel like this is the main asset these two gentlemen have.
They give no fucks.
You're right. You're old. It's time to give no fucks. Just start doing the shit that you want to do.
And that's
it's
it.
Not going to matter because you're going to be dead in a couple months anyway.
Right. I mean, like, should we live like that? Yes.
We all should live like that.
Absolutely.
Can I tell you who my new obsession is on TikTok?
Who?
I don't know what his name is. Two-Turn Tony? What was his name? I've been sending his TikToks out to everybody. I absolutely love this guy. He's a young kid on TikTok who doesn't give a shit. And he puts the weirdest, most bizarre things out.
Oh, you have to send it to me then.
Two-Turn Tony. TOOTURN. Oh, Two-Turned Tony. Sorry. He's Two-Turned. This guy, I would play his stuff for you right now, but I can't because he's got music in all his stuff. So we'll get blocked out on Facebook and YouTube. But every one of his videos is completely hilarious. He's got 14 million followers on TikTok, 565 million likes.
Oh my God.
His last video got 56 million views.
Damn. Okay, I have to go look for him then.
Two-Turned Tony. For everybody out there watching or listening, he's bizarre. He walks around with a duck. His girlfriend has half her ass hanging out and wears like a robber's mask.
Oh, I like it already.
His grandmother drinks alcohol all the time. His mother screams at him to stop every one of his pranks in the middle of his pranks. They're hysterical. The whole thing is a fucking mess. And it's hysterical. I can't get enough of the guy. I want more Two-Turned Tony in my presidents moving forward.
Oh, I thought you were going to say in your world, like in your life, but okay.
Oh, I wish I could be more like Two-Turned Tony. Guy,
you can.
Care. I mean, I guess I can. In one of the last episodes, well, the one that got 56, I say episode, the one that got 56 million views, I won't play it. I'll play it on screen. He's one of these where he blows his mom with a leaf blower.
Oh, I did see. Yes.
While she's brushing her teeth, and the shit goes everywhere, and then he runs away and jumps into a porta potty that's laying on the living room floor in his mother's house.
Nice.
And he gives himself a black eye.
See? I love it.
But the sound of the thing that hits, here, I'll play it here.
What did you just do?
That's the sound of his head hitting the side of the fucking thing.
Oops.
Yeah. Two-Turned Tony is great. But Joe Biden calls Doocy a stupid son of a bitch. Number one story right now in the world.
Love it.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to. I'm surprised the presidents don't get caught more. I feel like every one of them has. I can't remember Bush's, but I feel like also Bush was pre-crazy internet.
Well, yeah.
You know, where like when Obama did the Kanye thing, everybody, there was like remixes. Like now we remix everything.
Right.
You know, like I haven't checked TikTok yet because this literally just happened.
Right.
But I'm sure this is going to be a sound that everybody's going to fucking.
That's what I can't wait for the memes for it. The remixes, you're right.
Right? I mean, it's just going to be
It's
great.
gonna be good.
It's going to be fantastic. We got to load it up into our little sound machine here so we could, constantly use it over and over again.
I like it.
More inflation. What a stupid son of a bitch.
It sounds like he's gonna pass that out the end. So, oh, stupid son.
Yeah, he's breathing a lot. He sounds like me. I still got the, I still got the COVID breath going on.
Oh God,
I know.
milking it,
You don't believe me, but I do. It's true.
honey. Come here, let me give you that. It says COVID super what? Nothing. Never mind.
Did you see the last episode where we talked about the CBD?
Uh,
Were you on that episode? I don't even
Yes.
remember. Oh, you are. I forget.
why not?
Been enjoying a little too much CBD myself.
Exactly.
Jumpstart Coffee Company is proud sponsor of this episode. Save 15% when you order with the promo code AOA15. Link in the description of this episode. Great coffee, great cause. So many different flavors to enjoy. The espresso blend, the light roast, of course, the medium roast. They got the dark roast. And if you need the decaffeinated, they can do that too.
Ew! Don't talk to me.
I won't like it, but I still will like it because you're ordering Jumpstart Coffee Company, which is very important. 50% of their profits go to the Navy SEAL Foundation, so support them. It supports us and supports those who support your freedoms. So order now with the link in the description below. Like I said, promo code AOA15 saves you 15%. Do you still think that Brian Laundrie is not dead? I can't keep track of all your conspiracy theories.
I still don't think he's dead.
Do you think he's alive still?
Oh yeah, I do.
Last episode, we talked about the fact that the police read his book and he admitted to killing Gabby Petito. Today, the story is that the FBI is following a person of interest in the double slaying in Utah. Remember that young
Yes.
couple that died?
That's
the two women?
suspicious.
Yeah. And we were just talking about that too last episode. I was like, well, what's the deal there? They say that because they now know that Brian was sending text messages from her phone to her mother. And even when they were both alive, they can tell where their phone had been, and their phones weren't in the same location as these two.
Oh, okay.
Even though they were close in proximity, same park and everything, phones were not, and the timelines don't line up to where the phones were and where these ladies were found shot to death. So
I can't wait for the Netflix movie, by the way, because I wonder who's going to play me and you.
in the Netflix movie,
Yeah.
mine's gonna be Turtle from Entourage in a fat suit. And yours is going to be the girl from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. We know who.
That's true. Fuck, you're right. Okay, well, I don't have to wonder then too much.
Who would be a good Brian Laundrie though?
Ooh.
Timothy Olaf. No, what's that kid? Not Timothy Oliphant. Who's the young kid that's in everything now?
Oh,
He's playing a young Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. What's that kid's name? Timothy.
yeah, I know who you
something.
mean. Okay, well, we'll see.
I think it's definitely that guy.
We shall see.
And her, I would say Natalie Portman, right? You got to go Natalie Portman for every.
She's not blonde,
That doesn't really matter, though, does it?
I guess, right? We'll see.
We'll see how it all works out. Who's that fucking kid? Who's the new? It's gonna drive me crazy. Is this one called Willy Wonka? No. What was the original? The original was Willy
got
Wonka
me.
and the Chocolate Factory. Yeah, but who? The new kid? There's gonna be a new one. They're making a new one. Can you look that up for me? Who's the new kid? I think it's Timothy Oliphant. Who cares? Can't stand his face anyways. The Ghislaine Maxwell trial. If they're going to do a retrial, one of the witnesses out of the 4 already said they're not going to participate again.
Ooh.
Yeah, they said, according to sources over at the Telegraph, they said that it was too much trauma that was resurfaced for this particular woman, and she's not going to be able to redo it. So that's kind of a blow. However, one of the prosecutors said that since she was convicted the first time around, that more people have come forward and they think that they would actually have more witnesses
Okay.
if they were to restart and do this all over again.
Oh, how annoying would that be to do?
Yeah, to start all over again from the top, that would be absolutely insane.
That would be very annoying.
Did you find out who the... Well, no, we still... Yeah, it's not Timothy Oliphant. That's the good-looking guy from The Office. But I can't remember the young kid's name. It's some. So he just hosted Saturday Night Live. Fucking kid. They're filming it
Fucking
right now.
kid.
He's in the new Charlie of the Chocolate Factory.
Oh.
Judge rules against the New York mask mandate. This is, by the way, Janine has done. No, not Jordan Fry. That's not it. Janine has done more show prep for this episode than the entire time she's been on this podcast.
Oh, because of this?
She's got like 4 stories in this thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So go on, Janine. Do you want to tell? You want me to read it?
I mean, you give your.
I'll give you the lead. I'll lead you, and I won't leave you hanging dry. By the way, I thought you and Frank were going to kill each other in the podcast text message chain.
Ooh,
New York State Supreme Court judge in Mineola. Shady people in that Mineola, don't you think?
Very.
Can't trust those people.
Nope.
Has apparently struck down New York's mask mandate for both schools and public locations. According to a court document, Judge Thomas Raidmaker said that neither the governor nor the New York State Health Commissioner had the authority to enact the mandate without the state legislature, since the governor no longer has emergency powers.
So here's my thing. Is it just for Nassau County? That's it, right?
No.
It's not. Okay.
It's the whole
He
state.
just happened to be from Nassau County. The
Correct.
lawsuit just happened to be from Nassau County.
Correct.
Okay. Covering all of New York then.
Covering all of New York. So this was easy to do when Cuomo was doing it because, 1, he was sexually harassing everybody into giving him what he wanted. And then
Correct.
2, he had the emergency powers. And then the legislature took that away from him, so he could no longer do things like this.
Right.
So she did it, and I'm surprised. And I wonder, I would assume, because I feel like I heard that people challenged this right away, and that was back in, December? It was like in the middle of December, wasn't it, when she put this back into play, our new governor?
December 13th, I believe, is when she made it come back into effect.
Right, and it was supposed to last until January 15th, and then she extended it before the new year at some point, I feel like.
Yep, she did.
To February. Timothy Chalamet.
Oh, okay.
Timothy Chalamet.
Finally, we got the name.
Thanks to everybody who put that in. Timothy Chalamet. I was close. What did I say? Timothy Oliphant?
Yeah, that's close enough.
By the way, Timothy Chalamet spells his name Timothe with the little fucking thing on it. EE, 2 E's, and one of the E's has a little thing on it.
I like that better.
I hate it. Douchebag.
Oh, God.
The only thing worse than that is Amy's, because Amy. No, mine's actually AMIE. The letter A. Fuck yourself. I can't.
AIMEE.
Yeah, AMY. That should be it. There shouldn't be more fucking ways. AMIE.
Agreed.
AYMIE. And go away. I can't fucking do it with these Amy's. Anyway, what were we talking about?
The mask mandate. Or no longer mask mandate.
Right. So now so she put it in, and I think they've been fighting it this whole time. And what's crazy is it's supposed to expire in I think like 6 days anyway, right?
I don't know if it was February 1st or February 15th.
Oh, did she push it to the 15th? I can't remember now. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, she did? That was a ballsy move. Oh, okay.
Right. So, I mean, this just came out too right before we started as well, where...
Yeah. Hot news. Breaking news.
Yeah. Exploding.
You must be excited. You must be like, did you pop a little champagne?
I did. I took out the fuck 2020 champagne that I never opened, which is why 2021 turned out horrible.
Right.
I'm convinced that's why. I'm convinced that's why. So now I don't even know. I'm going off on a tangent here. I don't know if I should open that bottle or keep it until 2022 ends. This is my dilemma.
I would keep it.
Okay.
I say you got to keep. Do you really have a bottle that says fuck 2020 on it?
Yes.
Did you get it before 2020?
Yes. Oh, well, no, I got it, like December 31st, 2020. Because you're supposed to drink it on New Year's Eve.
Oh, to be like, oh, that's all behind us now.
Right. And I never did. So that's why 2021 was such a horrible year.
Right. Right.
So thank you. You could all thank me for that.
What do you think was worse, 2020 or 2021?
2021.
I disagree. I think it was 2020.
Really?
Yeah, I think 2021 was a letdown but I think I would put it in second place. I think 2020 was still the shit year.
I think 2021 was worse because everybody thought everything would be over, and it was a very big letdown when it wasn't. That's how I feel.
I get it, but I still feel like that's second to the shock that we had in that fucking first month and a half, 2 months was like, I don't know.
Miserable.
Yeah, it was miserable. It was miserable. Like, we forget already, but we were literally going in, like, we were having little picnics in our car and acting like this is like the greatest thing ever. Like, look at us out having a picnic in the car at a parking lot somewhere.
Oh, good.
Like, that was what we were doing back then.
I just 2021, not great.
All right.
But back to this.
This is a big celebration. Now, did you pop champagne or did you just go to a store and cough on an innocent employee? Be like, mask mandates are over, bitch.
Excuse me, as I clear my throat.
Yeah.
No, as you know, which I do think you do agree with me, even though you don't want to admit it. I do think wearing a mask.
Well, I'm controlled by the left, so
should be a choice, and it shouldn't be mandated, especially for little kids. That's just how I feel.
I disagree with you.
Whoa.
I think masks should especially be mandated for little children, and I think we should make sure to secure them with masking tape.
Oh, because you don't want to hear them.
Well,
or a muffled version.
That was you owe me an apology for that accusation. I'm trying to keep the kids safe, and you're acting like I'm a bad person.
I mean, I get it.
Like all the people, like, what a piece of. Well, actually, that was a good point.
So wait, here's the thing. Since this is so new, does this go in effect for the DOE in the city?
No.
Why?
Oh, that's a great question. No.
Or schools out here?
Because schools out here, yes.
Okay.
But the city had, well, I don't know. Cuomo fought this, but the city technically has jurisdiction over the state.
Oh, I only asked because
I'm pretty
Go ahead.
sure it's the smaller governments have more power over the bigger ones.
Because there are a few districts out on Long Island already that have said they are changing their mask mandate before this today.
Yes, because a village or a local municipality can make their own laws, rules, if you will.
So we'll see.
They're subject to the state then saying, well, if you're not going to follow what we require, we're going to pull your funding, which is how the state's been able to get away with a lot of stuff outside of the emergency, whatever. But
Excuse me.
And that was, I think, Cuomo's fight with de Blasio, which is like, all right, you can make your own rules up, but I'm not going to fucking give you money for anything, because they are subject
All
to
comes down to money.
Yeah.
Or
It's
threatening.
It's the same thing. Like the states have more rights than the federal government. You can't, states can overrule federal law.
Right.
I'm
well,
pretty sure cities can too.
Either way, if it's your choice if you want to wear one or not, I don't knock people for wearing them. I knock it for being mandated. But like I said, I'm sure there's going to be people who still feel unsafe and will go out with a mask, and that's fine for them. So that's it. You?
I don't know what to think anymore. Honestly, I'm so backwards and all around. I don't know what to think anymore. I think that this has just become an awful politicized
Yeah.
thing.
Well, that's a fact. But you think you should wear them?
I mean, do you think that they work?
Mm,
You don't think so? I mean,
I don't know.
multiple studies have said, even the most recent one said those M90 N95 work.
Okay, but the thing is, the N95 ones are extremely uncomfortable to wear, and they can like actually start to hurt you. That you can, because you can't change the straps on them.
What was weird is when you said that, even though he's not here, I still felt Frank flip out.
Like this?
Like his eyes rolled and he got angry wherever he may be.
What? So you could risk your own uncomfortableness for someone's life?
That's not the face that he makes.
This is it.
That's a little better. I don't know. What's amazing to me is, I guess this is my feeling on it. I'm surprised.
Pussy. I don't even know what you're gonna say. Go ahead.
I'm just surprised more people aren't for it.
No.
I'm surprised it became a my rights and freedoms thing versus let me take care of the people around me and myself. Is that a horrifically pussified, naive thing to say?
No, because some people do actually feel that way. And that's fine. But if I'm wearing a mask, then I shouldn't be caring if you wear one. I shouldn't care if you wear one. If I'm protected, then it's the same thing with the vaccine. If I'm protected, why should I care if you wear one?
Well, because I think if we both wear one, it increases the chance of success that much higher.
I mean, I guess, but this is always going to be around, just like the flu. It is. It's different strains. Obviously, we've seen this already. So, how much more time is needed for mask wearing? Because it's like, obviously, the times of the year that you get sick. It's like just well known, like which months are, especially in New York.
Right. Well, let's talk about that for a second, because I think that was an incredibly intelligent point that you just made.
Wow. I could also see Frank's eyebrows going like this. Yeah, okay. Janine, intelligent? Sure.
No, but I went back and I looked at the last pandemic. Technically swine flu was the last one, but I looked back at the 1919, what they call the Spanish flu, which, by the way, I still don't know how it got that name. People assume that it came from Spain, and it didn't. Yeah, it didn't. I don't know why it got called that.
Racist.
Because the soldiers came back from World War One, I think it was. Yeah, maybe that's what it was. But it actually didn't originate from there, which I found interesting. But anyway, that was 4 waves. And that also kind of happened at the same time, where it also went through seasons, where it would be very intense and then it would fade and then it would, come back again. What I find is interesting is they wore masks back then, but they wore gauze masks because they didn't know any better. And
that must feel so uncomfortable too. Ugh.
Forget it. I mean, that's like, at least the N95, they're like paper. That's like having a sock over your mouth, which I heard some people are into. I don't. Some people that may or may not be here right now. It's not the point. We're not here to judge. Point is that I do think you're right. I do think that this is going to come back and forth in waves for the next couple of years. I think we have to live with it. I think we have to let go of the idea of, 15 days to flatten the curve and get vaccinated and it'll go away, and wear your mask and it'll go away. I just although those things sound great and work on paper, the amount of people resisting wearing masks and people not being vaccinated and the variants that are spreading and just the overall, sometimes there's not much, like, again, people were vaccinated, wore masks, and they still got this Omicron variant, and what are you going to do? Now, people, Frank would say, and I agree, that these people were saved from going to the hospital and it wasn't as bad. And I'm not making points. I'm not making points for people not to get vaccinated or not to wear the mask. All I'm saying is sometimes people wind up arguing over the best way to stop a leak in a boat while the fucking thing is sinking. Like, at some point you got to just say, this is the situation and we got to rethink how we're going to handle it, because not everybody's going to wear that mask. No matter what you do, people are just not going to get vaccinated. The thing is going to constantly evolve anyway. So, I think we got to kind of live with this. And by the way, like, to be totally honest, outside of those first 3 months, a lot of people did go back to work. We did have somewhat of a summer in 2020. Right. 2021, for as shitty as you thought it was, and it was kind of back to life as normal. Broadway
I think I'm thinking about it more personally than just
right.
But the thing is, like, I never stopped doing anything, and I think, like, even though it sucked, like the first month and a half, like, I'm the one who still went to the supermarket and Target, and I wasn't like terrified. I just did it. I never stopped doing stuff unless I was stopped, meaning like when the restaurants were closed and you couldn't eat in them, then it's like, okay, well, I couldn't do it, but like besides that, I did everything. Everything.
It's funny, I was thinking about when the shutdown happened, and the first time I went to the supermarket, I felt so, like, I don't know, naked or unprepared, or
maybe put some pants on.
But you know what I said to my wife? I go, I saw somebody wearing a mask in the supermarket. This was before masks were even a thought. This was still stay home for 30 days so we can flatten the curve. We hadn't even gotten to let's go back out with masks again. But I remember saying to my wife, I go, I think I have a painter's mask in the house. The next time I go, I think I'm going to wear it. And I said to her, and she said, I think you should too. And I go, I don't know if it's going to do anything, but it's going to make me feel better, to go. But it's the truth. And I did. And by the way, it was one of those ones with events, so it wouldn't have done anything. But
I only wore when they said you have to wear one in the store or else you're not allowed to come in.
But I just found it interesting that natural instinct of mine was to be like, well, let's do something. Let's just try something, because, maybe it'll help, maybe it won't, but it's no skin. Like, it was no skin off my ass. If it didn't help, I had to go out and get groceries to fucking feed the family no matter what,
Right.
But anyway, getting back to my other point, 2021 for the most part, Broadway came back, baseball games were here, hockey games, basketball games, football games. Yeah, there was distancing. Yeah, there was masks. Yeah, there was tests and pains in the asses and all that horse shit. But for the most part, without a slight annoyance, we lived life as is, as it was. And I think that's how it's going to be for the next year or two, or maybe even 3. I do think so. And I also think, to your point, I think you made a good point, we're going to have this same shit where come September, October, we'll see that little kick up.
Exactly.
And then come, November, December, January, we'll see it again. And then I think people will be annoyed and frustrated, at the end of January, and we'll stop wearing masks, and the weather will get nicer. It's not going to matter then. And everybody's going to have their outdoor activities, and the numbers are going to be low, and nobody's going to give a shit. And then we'll just do that cycle again until, this all gets figured out, or enough of us have had it or have been vaccinated, and then it flows by the wayside. But what do we do if something comes out that we're fucked on, and there's nothing else we could do? There's nothing that could be done. What if the next variant doesn't respond to the vaccines and mass. What if the next Omicron is as contagious and more lethal than this last batch? Then what?
Well, I don't know. You have to ask scientist Frank. He knows all the science answers, not me.
You're very angry. Frank's very angry too. You guys are very angry. Very, very angry.
I'm joking, but I don't know the answer for that. And guess what? Even the scientists, they don't know either. They
No, I
really don't know. It's like,
don't think
let's throw something at the wall and see if it sticks.
And
Okay.
as much as they were prepared for Omicron, I feel like we were a smidge underprepared.
Well, with the testing, that was just
Yeah.
horrendous.
Because that kind of I feel like it caught us off guard where we were like, holy shit, a lot of people have this now.
Yeah. Way more now than since like when it first started.
Yeah.
I mean,
100%.
who knows the exact reason why? I don't know.
I blame
I don't know.
Fauci and Biden.
Well, yeah.
I don't blame them.
Neil Young.
I mean, they should be on top of it. Anyway, Neil Young, speaking of angry, Neil Young demands that Spotify remove his music over false information about vaccines. He says, and I quote in a letter to his manager and label, they can have Joe Rogan or Neil Young. They cannot have both.
Oh, God. What did Joe Rogan say about the vaccine that everybody got upset about? Because I didn't know exactly what he said.
He's not said anything terrible about it. He's just said that somebody he knows got it and had a very negative reaction. He said that he was going to get it. The test got the thing got moved. He was going to get it. The UFC was requiring that he got it. He had no objections. He was going to go and get it. And then the thing got moved, and then two people he knew had really bad reactions to it. And since then, he was on like a wait and see. And then he actually got COVID.
Yeah.
And then he took his medicine, his 1,000 medicines that he took, that only rich people could really get these days, and common people can't. And that's what's so unfortunate about the Joe Rogan thing is, sometimes some of these people live in like fantasy worlds, where they don't. Somebody sent me a clip of Howard Stern talking about this, and he's been very pro-vaccine.
Oh, yeah.
And, and that's fine. I'm vaccinated. I have no issues with that. But my point is that, from his standpoint, and I love that guy, but, he's like, not everybody can stay in their house for 2 years straight and work from their house for 2 years straight.
Right.
People had to go out and live in the world and work and, deliver food and, be at the grocery store and do all that stuff. People can't just stay in their basement and get paid a shit ton of money for that.
But you know what? He loves that anyway. Stern doesn't really like to go out or like people. So
right, for hypochondriacs, this thing was great.
Exactly. He was like, all right, darn it.
So Joe, that was kind of his approach. So he's been kind of, again, whether he likes it or not, thrown into this anti-vax, box. And I don't necessarily know if he is. I wouldn't say he's pro-vax. I think he's along the, like, everybody can choose thing. But people think that is dangerous. People think that if you're not 1,000% for the vaccine, that it's a problem.
Yeah, which that to me is dangerous in itself.
I think it's because a lot of people fear that people won't do it unless they're pushed or forced to do it. Like if I tell, if you say like this is good for you, people will just be like, well, I'm not doing that. And then they feel then they have to go 120% to make it happen.
I mean,
and then the other part of it is just utter laziness. Like, look at the teachers and the cops. Like, it got to the point where they were like, we're going to fire you people if you don't get it. And then all of a sudden, like 30% of them went out and got it. Like, I mean, if people were that against, there are people that are that against it that still don't have it. Yep. Like, if you were really that against it, you wouldn't have got it. But then most people are kind of like, oh, okay, I'll go get it now because I have to.
Yeah, but see, I mean,
you have to admit, it did work. It's not fair, but it did work.
No, but you know what? When you like threaten someone's job, that's That to me, that's horrific. That really is. It should not. It should have not come down to that at all. It should be either you get it or you don't. Not if you don't get it, you won't have a paycheck.
I agree, but when you try to get your kids to eat their dinner or go to bed or whatever, you don't say to them, "Oh, it's your choice on whether you want to go to bed or not." You threaten them with taking away
Never.
their toys or punishing
Never.
them or whatever you do. Like people are,
I'll throw this thing out the fucking door if you want to see me do it.
adults are no different, and you can't threaten an adult with anything else other than fines, jail time, or like fucking losing their job.
Well, anyway, I don't think that he should be removed or whatever. I think, I always think this. People have their own minds. That's what gets me annoyed, because there's a lot of people out there who talk about it. Our show. But it doesn't matter if we have 10 followers or 10,000. But this is just I think we disagree on this. Doesn't matter how many.
Way more than 10,000. But go ahead.
No, I'm just saying in general.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter how many followers you have. You're not responsible for anyone else's actions. You're not. So if you think a certain way and you want to express your opinion, that's your opinion, and that's your God-given right. All right.
I know, but
where's my rifle?
As we've talked about it, when you're talking about public health, it's different. You have to consider the collective.
I don't agree that way. I don't, because here's the thing too. I guess there's so many doctors out there who disagree on so many things. And I'm not talking about COVID right now. If you go to a doctor and there's 7 different doctors in the practice, they usually do not agree with each other. There's different ways and different methods, and they just do things differently.
Well,
I've seen it. It's true though. I've seen it plenty of times.
Playing into one of my deepest fears.
I have. I've seen it plenty of times. Even giving birth, there's many ways that people can do it, and doctors will often disagree on how to induce a woman, or whether if they should get a C-section or a natural birth.
Mm-hmm.
So it's tough. I sound like Larry David there for a minute.
No, I agree, and obviously there's doctors that are split on this, but I think for the most part, a lot of the doctors are for these measures, and a lot of their stuff has been peer reviewed, and that's kind of the normal standard way. It's interesting. Frank's brother, who I feel like kind of votes whatever way. He's been very pro-vax in our little chat as of late.
Oh, yeah.
Even given his last couple of
very anti-Janine. Go ahead.
Very anti-Janine, which I'm surprised about.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not cool. Not cool.
What I find interesting about Neil Young and Joe Rogan, though, is...
Have fun at the Christmas exchange. Go ahead. Because I won't be there. Go ahead. I'll be getting my shot that day. Oops.
What I find interesting about this is they're literally paying Joe Rogan $100 million a year. Now, Spotify doesn't release stats on podcasts as they do for musical artists. And you can look up and see how many monthly listeners an artist will have. Neil Young currently has 6 million, which is nothing to sneeze at. But just to kind of put things into perspective, do you know how many Taylor Swift has?
Oh my God. It's a lot. Way more than that.
54 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite a lot more. Almost 10 times more than what Neil Young pulls in. I don't think, even though it would hurt, I don't think that
it won't hurt that much, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to lose a ton of money if they lose the Neil Young catalog off of their platform. So, although I applaud Mr. Young's move here, and perhaps he can start a storm that will have more people going with him, I just don't think that this is going to have the right move that he thinks it's going to have. And I also think that even though I would love Joe Rogan to take some more responsibility for some of the things that he says,
boo,
a lot of the things that he says, you know, he's a comic who's hosting a podcast. I wish his word wasn't so important to some of the people that listen,
Well, that's
but
the
it
thing.
is.
Like,
But it shouldn't be.
right. And you know what? Like, just like how I think like CNN and Fox. Listen, why do you think that these people get paid a lot? And why do you think that there's a lot of viewers? Because they get paid just to put on the. I personally think it's a lot of it is act, and they do it for like the views. I like, to me that's what they do it for.
Like the people who dunk Oreos into pickle juice and tell you it's good.
Ugh. Yes.
Yeah.
So like, is he told Joe Rogan? Is he told maybe to play up certain things? Probably. I think a lot of people are told to do that, but it doesn't matter. It's not like he's saying, don't get the vaccine, the aliens are coming for you. Or don't get the vaccine, you're going to die from it.
Well, I agree with you and slightly disagree. I don't think he's told or any of the other people are told. I just think that that's the nature of the game.
Well, or maybe they just know. They just know that they have to play things up to get the viewers.
I think Joe is in a position where he likes that position. He's a comic. Comics like to be on the outside, just willy-nilly, freewheeling, just whatever it is, it is. But like people like Tucker Carlson or Rachel Maddow or any of these people, they know down to the 5 minute, if in 5 minute increments how many people are watching.
Yeah.
So they can go back and look at the stories they did and see who turned off, who stayed on, and that's why they keep playing into their own ratings machine. That's why they're not going to tell you shit that you don't want to hear, which leads to another point, which is most people okay, you want to say that Joe Rogan is a bad influence, fine. Where I really disagree though is most people don't really get information that much anymore from other places as much as they go to other places to validate how they feel about a certain thing.
You mean like maybe a certain someone that we know will go and check on maybe certain more democratic websites to be like, hey, I agree with that.
Everybody.
Yeah.
If you only
what,
check CNN or if you only check Fox News, you're the problem that I'm discussing right now.
Right.
But not even that though. I feel like even too, if you go to Joe Rogan and he says something that you don't agree with, you kind of get like, ugh. But if he says something that you do agree with, you're like, yeah,
right.
That's it.
But that's kind of how it is in life too, because like, and it's true, and I've heard this. You're gonna go to your. Most people go to friends for advice that they know what they want to hear.
Right. 100%.
Rather than going to someone who's more truthful and will tell them something they don't want to hear.
100%.
So that's just how it is.
But I also think that the thirst of knowledge or information is not everybody.
No.
But I think that because no bullshit, I think that people that come and hang with us kind of like that because we are kind of all over the place. There's a lot of different viewpoints on this particular show. But for the most part, I think that people put the thirst of knowledge and information second to, I feel a certain way, like they'll hear things or see a headline on Twitter or Facebook or friends will mention something or they'll hear something in a coffee shop and they won't try and find out information about it. Rather, they'll then feel a certain way and go, where can I go to get this feeling backed up?
Right.
As opposed to, oh, that's the thing. Can I find out more information about that?
Right.
I don't think we think that way anymore.
No.
I think we changed at some point, and a lot of people will blame Trump. I'm telling you, it's before that. I think it's a technological thing because
we have it at our fingertips. So
right. We used to listen to what was on the radio and watch what was on television, and now we pick what we want to stream on TV.
Could you just imagine?
I know we are on an a la carte buffet world of me and what's good for me and my schedule. Not like, oh, if I don't catch this, I'm going to miss it.
Right.
And I feel like our feelings on that kind of shit changed too. Because I do it all the time. I'm like, I'm not going to sit here and watch CBS, NBC, or Fox or ABC. I'm going to go on YouTube and look at something that is of interest to me.
Right.
You know? So
I get it.
I think that's the same thing. Now, why isn't Frank here? We're tracking the rumor that he was actually at the anti-mask rally. And he's not here because he's avoiding the embarrassment of being found out who he really is.
Wait, was he screaming at anti-masked people, or
No,
he's secretly an anti-masker?
he's secretly an anti-masker. And
Ooh.
yeah. And I don't know. I'll say this. We're going to get down to the bottom of it together as a family that we are. I'm going to give it one of these. Lick the thumb and see if his vaccine card smudges at all. If it does, we know it's fake. And that's basically all we're going to do. But that's what we're going to do. That's the amount of effort we're going to try and put in.
Don't do that to my vaccine card.
No, I wouldn't do that. Yours is, I'm afraid what yours is even made out of, is I know
Thanks.
It's not even real paper. Taylor Swift slammed for not writing her own songs. You know who Damon Albarn is?
No.
Yeah, practically nobody does. He's the lead singer for who's the guys who did song number 2? You know that song? Woohoo! That plays at every sports game. That, and he's also the lead singer for Gorillaz.
Oh, okay.
Which people know the Gorillaz, but they don't know that Damon Albarn is there. He said today in an interview that Taylor Swift doesn't write her own music.
Wait, does she?
Well, he said that he was doing this interview. I forget who it was with, but they were doing the interview, and he said, like, what are you? They were asking him a whole bunch of stuff, and he's like, like, what are you not into? And he's like, oh, people like, Taylor Swift, because they don't write their own music. And the interviewer challenged him, and they were like, well, she does. She has some co-writers, but she does write her own music. And he was like, please, I know what co-writers are.
Oh, okay. So like music as in actual music, or songs as in words? Because it's two different things, right?
Yeah, but both, like writing the melodies and the lyrics and all that kind of stuff.
I mean, it would be kind of disappointing if she didn't, because I feel like, that's kind of her thing.
Well, she fired back at him and said, Damon, I was such a big fan of yours until I saw this. I write all of my own songs. Your hot take is completely false and so damaging. You don't like my songs, but it's really fucked up to try and discredit my writing. Wow.
Oh, shit, Tay Swizzle. How you like me now? How you like me now, Frank Eyebrows?
I think that you're impossible tonight. I think that Taylor Swift fans should thank Damon Albarn, because I think he just forced her to write a whole new fucking album.
Oh yeah. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so Taylor Swift fans, don't be upset at Damon Albarn. Be thankful that he ruffled little T Swift's feathers, got her all in a tizzy to go in and write a new fucking track.
Damn. Just cold.
He did a scumbaggy thing. He was like, Billie Eilish, now there's a writer, which is kind of fucked up to be like, oh, the new Taylor Swift is the fucking
really
thing now. My what? My wife just said my daughter loves Billie Eilish.
Oh, really?
I'll take that.
Okay.
How's she feel about Dave Matthews yet? She like
oh
him
God.
Boom. Eric Clapton claims that vaccinated people are under hypnosis. Janine, agree? Or really agree?
Is it agree, strongly disagree, strongly agree? What?
Yeah, he got it. He got the vaccine, by the way, and he said it really fucked him up, which is unbelievable to me, because he had a little bit of like a hand disease too, where he knew he was going to stop he'd lose movement in his hand, and then that progressively got worse, and then he was like, oh, it's the vaccine's fault. So I don't know what the fuck to think with this guy anymore. But now he's saying that the people who are vaccinated are under hypnosis.
I mean, wouldn't that be cool to find out in a few years? But like, what kind of hypnosis is what I wonder.
I don't know, because I'm vaccinated. I'm under the hypnosis. That's why I'm relying.
See, that's right. You wouldn't know.
I'm hoping that you'll help me with this right now. Because if you said this was true, see, you should have went along with the bet. If you were like,
Shit.
yeah, he's right. I'd be like, oh, fuck.
You know what? Let's go. Oh, I'm back. I strongly agree.
I'll be pulling one of these, looking at my hand in the mirror, and going, "Oh fuck, am I on hypnosis? I don't know."
Right. And this is a big Black Mirror episode. That would be cool.
Michael Cohen said in a Business Insider article, here's what's fucked up about this. Everybody's passing this along like this just happened, like while they were in the White House. But this goes back to 2012.
Oh, God.
Trump's children were on the verge of indictment in 2012 for some fucking thing that he did. I don't know. Him and the whole family. And supposedly Trump told Cohen, if it's going to go down and somebody's got to take the fall, make sure it's Don Jr. and not him.
He would say that.
I mean, what would you say, though? It's fucked up to say that. First of all, a father should be like, if it's going to go down, I'll fucking go. Like, I'll save my children. By the way, that would have been the man thing to say.
Yeah, well,
But if he wasn't in the line of fire, you got to let the guy's got to take the fall over the woman.
Well, he's a complete jackass, so anything Trump does is horrendous.
Which is fucked up because this might be a sexist thing I'm about to say. I don't know. I might have to apologize for this one day. But I feel like a woman's prison time is going to be a smidge easier than a man's prison time. Not all the time and not 100%.
Okay, fine.
But my feeling would be like I would take the fall for my wife, but I'd be in there mad the whole time, being like, she would have had it so much fucking easier in a nice women's prison where everything like smells wonderful and they're all just like reading books and
looking at each other.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
That's your hot prison, a female prison fantasy.
Yeah.
Have you seen Orange is the New Black or?
Yeah, but even still, they all seem like they were having a pretty decent time in there. I'm basing most of this off of Orange is the New Black. By the way, I only saw the first like 2.5 seasons. So if it went horribly wrong after that,
Okay, well then go watch another Netflix show because it's about like real life women prisons. So
yeah, I'm sure I'm sure
documentary.
Yeah, I'm sure rapey rapes happen all the time. But like in a man's prison, I feel like rapes definitely happen.
The rapey rapes are worse because they're with members.
Like objects?
No, like members of penises.
From who? Oh, from like the guards and shit?
No, I'm saying in men's prison, that's what happens.
Oh, it's worse. That's what I'm... Yeah.
Because that's a definite.
Yeah. See, like if you go to prison, you have a chance of getting out of there okay. If I go to prison, like just raped, like just every day, like it's going... It doesn't... I don't get out of prison.
Mouth, butt, wherever.
Everywhere. Just everywhere. Ear. Like I think it's going to be horrific if I go. Whereas I think if you go, you'll be like, yeah, it was no big deal.
I think I would have fun in prison. I think I would.
You'd be like, it was great. Nobody had to wear a mask. Everybody, it was fucking paradise. My kids weren't there. My husband wasn't there. And I didn't have to wear a mask. It was fucking awesome.
There'd be a lot of things I would miss about, not my kids or my husband, just like getting my nails done, doing my hair.
I think that's what you
waxing.
Would be doing. But I think they let you do all that stuff.
Okay, so then you know what? Maybe it won't be so bad.
I mean, we could sneak in a chicken parm every now and then. You'd be like, whatever, this is great. This is not a big deal.
Not horrible.
No, I don't think it would be horrible. Whereas me, it would be nonstop rape every day from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. like it was a job.
Right.
I'd be clocking in.
Smoothies that you would have to drink.
Yes. Yeah. I'd be the biggest bitch in there. It would be horrific. So anyway, I don't know. You think he said it? Because Cohen's a kind of a piece of shit too. So it's hard to trust whatever that guy says.
Exactly. Like, who can you trust these days? No one. No one.
But I would have hoped that he would have been like, if it goes down, I'll fucking take the fall. You know?
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not. I also think my decision on that is swayed based off of Succession, because Succession, the father's a real piece of shit too.
Oh, so you have to watch that one.
It's really good. Speaking of watch, if you could only save 5 Pixar movies, what would you save? This was a topic that was tweeted out by Disney animation promos. If you can only say 5 of these Disney/Pixar films, which one would you choose? So pre-show, I put this in front of Janine, and I was like, do you want to do this? Because I'm sure you know, between your kids and everything, you've probably seen all these. You might have an opinion. I don't know. It's hard to tell with Janine. Sometimes she's like, this is stupid, and I don't want to participate. And sometimes she's like, this is great. We should do this. So I gave her, it was a coin toss. I put it in front of her. And her response to me was, I've not seen any of these fucking movies.
I don't even know. I have to like go in and see. Let's see. Oh well, Frozen. Frozen I have.
Okay. I was going to say, you have 2 girls. You've never seen fucking Frozen?
I've seen Luca.
How great was Luca, by the way?
You know what? I didn't watch the whole entire thing because I fucking have a phone, so I get lost on there. But you know what? I like it because it's cute and it's based in Italy, which is fun.
Yeah. I'm so mad at Disney for being anti-Italian.
I know.
Because that movie was never slated for the movies. It was only supposed to be a Disney Plus thing. They were like,
really?
Yeah. They were like, a story about an Italian kid who's not in the mob. Nobody's going to go for this. Just put it out on Disney Plus and let's be done with it. But I think it was very much movie worthy, and they didn't they didn't do it. Anyway, here's the list. Frozen 2, Encanto, Luca, Cars 3, Onward, Raya, Big Hero 6, Monsters University, Brave, Incredibles 2, Soul, Coco, Inside Out, Zootopia, Wreck-It Ralph, Moana, Frozen, Tangled, Finding Dory, and Toy Story 3. How many of those have you seen, roughly?
I've only seen a few.
Holy shit.
Frozen, Moana, Luca.
Frozen, Moana, and Luca. How do you what do you do with your children? Do you just
They're not big. Like I said, they're not big into movies.
What do they watch? Britney Spears videos? Is that what you
obviously? I'm like, Eliana, please, you're not moving your hips good enough. Okay.
They watch WAP.
Learn the routine.
Learn the routine.
They prefer YouTube.
Get out of here.
They do.
Okay, but
I'm like, let's watch a movie, and they'll be like, oh, okay, put on Frozen or Moana.
My kids like YouTube too, but YouTube has led to a lot of these movies, I feel.
Yeah, I mean,
and a lot of the stuff that they watch.
They like the other 2 movies that they really like, I guess, are not Pixar movies because they're not on here.
What are the other 2 movies?
Baby Boss.
Okay, yeah.
And what's the other one that they like right now? Pets.
Okay. For Baby Boss, there's no bigger fantasy for a kid than a kid runs the show. Like,
yeah, I guess who likes that one the best? Of course, Aurelia.
I don't know who your kids are, so it doesn't
the
matter.
Smallest one.
Okay, thank you. You say a name is not going to make a difference. You and like 3 other people name their kids the same fucking thing.
Like the same. Yeah, it's annoying.
Yeah. Amelia, Ileana, Aurelia. I can't fucking keep track of any of that shit.
You still can't say it right.
I call them all Beverly. I go, hey, Beverly, get over here.
No, you could just say, hey, you.
Hey, you. That's basically what I do. I mean, I do that with some of our friends too. I can't remember all the spouses' names. It's impossible. But anyway, a kid will just fucking latch on to, a kid's in charge. This is great. That's the ultimate fantasy for a kid.
Right.
Like, I'll get the adults to listen to me. They'll have to,
right.
So that Boss Baby is a fucking $1 trillion franchise. Because we went to go see the last one, and it was utter shit. I fell asleep in the movie theaters, and my kids were like, that was amazing.
Ooh.
My kid literally said to me, that was a cinematic masterpiece. I'm like, how do you even learn this shit?
Where'd you learn that phrase from?
Yeah, they go Boss Baby. He would say something like that. Yeah. I go, watch out for that Boss Baby. Kills people on the set of movies, just so you know. Here's what I find interesting about this little list, too. They fucking put Toy Story 3 on there, which is the worst goddamn Toy Story.
I don't even know which one that is. I don't know if I've seen that one.
I've seen Toy Story 3 6 times this week. It's only Monday.
I know.
I don't know, how do you live? I don't. What do your kids watch on YouTube? Just clips?
See, listen. See, you got to be smart like me and get your kids to watch what you watch, so they don't ask for this.
So
stuff.
Cardi B videos.
Right.
Got it.
And Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah, Megan. Well, she's
And Euphoria.
yeah, that Euphoria. Boy, I tell you, I'm tempted by that fucking Euphoria every day. We're floating right now in the Neverland world of like,
Oh,
we're in between series. Sex and the City's only coming out once a week now. Curb is over. Like Succession's over.
I got another one for you too.
And Maisel's starting up soon. So we're like, we got like a 2 to 3 week period here where we're like, we might have to commit to something and we just don't know what we're going to commit to.
Watch Stay Close.
What's Stay Close?
That's a good one too.
Is that a sex one?
No, I wish. We zipped through that one. It was so good.
Is it about a pro-mask guy who gets caught at an anti-mask rally? Stay close. I'm disappointed in Frank too, just in case anybody wants to know.
Spoiler, he does a podcast and he always makes faces when the girl, there's 2 guys and a girl on the podcast. And when the girl speaks about certain subjects, he always makes these horrible, horrendous faces.
I think you're reading into this. I don't think he's making these crazy faces.
Okay, you know what? Thank you for challenging me. Now I'm going to go back and screenshot. Thank you.
I'm going to have to go back and look. And by the way, for the people that are like, don't you pay attention? No, I don't.
Yeah, why does he have to?
Yeah. And also, I can't tell you how many times I will like go back, listen back to the thing or watch back, and I will laugh at a line that one of the 2 of you have said that I clearly missed.
Yeah, you missed it. Obviously, yeah, I know you're not paying attention. It's fine.
There's a lot of shit going on here. A lot of fucking screens and comments and texts and shit and coming out. My wife's yelling at me all the time.
Right.
So it's hard. But anyway, all right, I'm going to give you my 5 since
hurry up.
You only seen 3 of these. Fucking Frozen, the first one, is outstanding.
Come on.
I'm going to keep that one. I'm going to keep Luca because Italian pride, Omerta. That's why I'm keeping that one.
Forza Italia.
What?
Forza Italia.
I also think that a lot of these are kind of the newer, shittier ones. Like Incredibles 2 sucks balls over Incredibles, the first one. It was great. But give me Frozen, give me Moana, give me Luca. I'll take the shitty Toy Story. And I liked Soul a lot. Soul was really cute. Even though
I guess I have to watch some of these. But here's the thing though, like even from when I was little, I didn't love cartoons.
Really?
I didn't. I tried to like stop watching them from a very early. I know it's going to be very surprising, Frank, that from a very early age, I wanted to just watch MTV and MTV videos. I wanted nothing to do with cartoons.
What age are we talking about here? 12?
I was going to say 5.
Holy shit.
I never. I'm going to ask my mom, was I ever like obsessed with the cartoon? Because I don't like cartoons. I don't. I wish I did. I just don't. It's like a Bloody Mary. I wish I liked it. I wish I did like a Bloody Mary, but I just can't get into it.
Yeah, but these are more than just like cartoons like we grew up with. These are like full developed stories and
like movies. Just can't. Can't. When people are like, oh, I love these cartoons when I was a kid, and I'm like, yeah, me too. Yeah, Madonna's videos. That's what I wanted to watch. And the box.
Okay? That's shocking.
I did not.
And so you think your kids are following along in the same footsteps of yours? That's why they're not like...
one can only hope. I've never even seen The Lion King.
What?
Yeah.
That's a lie.
Swear to God.
Now she's telling me that she's never seen The Lion King. You believe that? We were all mandated to see The Lion King back in the day.
See, even from when I was young, I was like, no, stop the mandates. I'm going to tell a story about my husband. When we first started going out, Now we were friends before that, friends with benefits too. Sorry, mom.
Nice.
Sorry, mom. He wanted to like do something special. So he was like, come to my house. And I'm like, okay. He's like, I'm gonna put on a movie. And he was like so excited. And I was like, okay. He puts on Aladdin. And I was like, is he fucking serious?
Wait, how
I
old?
was
How old was
16.
this? Okay.
And he was like, this is like one of my favorite movies. You know, I hope you like it too. Whatever. I forgot what exactly he said. And I was just like, yeah, I don't do cartoons.
How did he fucking marry you?
But because I liked him so much, I let him play this dumb movie while trying to put my hand in his pants the whole time. I was like, yeah, I'll give you a magic carpet ride.
First of all, idiot, all you had to do was pull out one of those little flutes and start playing.
Right.
His thing would have came right out of the
Right.
basket, like in the movie.
I don't know. It was like cute at the time. He was just like, I want you to, this is one of my favorite movies. He made it like a reveal.
Yeah.
And then it was Aladdin. I was like, bro, what? Like, what?
Stupidest thing he could have done. But can I just say, having been a 16-year-old boy myself, that's the best we could muster at the time. That's like, oh, I know this will be romantic. She'll like this. That's the level of intelligence we're working with at that time.
I mean, give me the movie that, what was it, Nev Campbell and the other girl, and they had a threesome. Like, hello, give me that.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Don't give me Aladdin. What? Aladdin?
It's a weird move. I get it. It's a
I
weird
can't believe
move.
I married him. You're saying you can't believe he married me? I can't believe I married him.
Well, because you shot him down so harsh. Like that was tough.
Aladdin. No, that's how you know I liked him, because I sat through that fucking movie.
But I think like all the girls your age loved Aladdin and fucking Little Mermaid and Lion King. That was like right down the wheelhouse of a girl that age at that time.
No, let's watch some videos.
Unbelievable.
Tell your wife. I bet you she would think that's cute, right? I could see her say, "Oh,
Yeah,
that's
no,
so
she can't believe you've
cute."
never seen. If I would have like made a romantic deal like let's have a movie night and I put on Aladdin, would you think that was shitty?
At 16 years old.
At 16 years old. Remember when we were 16? Like a couple of years after Aladdin came out, would you think that was bad? D. Like she's watching TikTok. I lost her.
That's it. Bye.
She looked at me and smiled, so I thought she was listening to what I was saying, and then I noticed that the earpiece was in her other ear.
Forget
so she
it.
couldn't fucking hear anything.
I'll tell her.
That's right. You guys talk about it when you talk about your little things.
Little things.
Yeah, that's this whole thing. This is a shocking revelation to me. Disney Plus is on so much that warnings will literally come on the screen and it'll say, "Anthony, are you okay? Are you still alive in the house?"
Yeah.
Like, have your children tied you up yet?
I know. It's like I wish that they watch the movies more, but they rather watch their people that they watch on YouTube.
Are they watching Vlad and Nikki yet?
I believe so. You know who they like.
Rough. Vlad and Nikki are rough.
I mean, it's just, they like their. Oh, you know what they're obsessed with now? No joke. Barbie girl, from when we were teenagers. They love the video, and they love the song.
We have to stop because I have to report you to Child Protective Services.
And wait, this is kind of funny. Instead of saying fantastic, it's fantastic, Eliana likes to say it's fartastic. Like she thinks that's funny.
That is funny.
So you would laugh at that.
She's right. She's basically right. That is funny.
Well, so I could do Barbie girl.
Wait, hold on. Joe Biden has an opinion on how you're treating your children.
More inflation. What a stupid son of a bitch.
Going to download that audio for my husband's ringtone. Thanks.
We're gonna make this a clip now, Mr.
And
Biden. What do you
good night.
think of Janine's parenting
What a
skills?
stupid son of a bitch.
Well, you know what? Barbie Girl is definitely better than Johnny, Johnny, Yes, Papa. Okay?
I don't even know what the hell that is.
Exactly.
Is that like from the country that your father's from that we can't really nail down what that accent is?
No, it's one of those kid songs
Oh.
from Coco Melon.
Coco Melon is
Right.
rough.
Yeah.
Rough. And my daughter's 4, and she'll every now and then be like, let's watch Coco Melon. I'm like, you're way too old for Coco Melon. Coco Melon is like...
You're
when
like, put on Barbie Girl.
Maybe I'll put on Barbie Girl for her.
Exactly. No, it is a cute song. Like the kids do like it.
You know what song my daughter loves? What's that song? Oh, she's sweet but a psycho. She'll ask for that. She'll be like,
Oh, I like that.
She'll be like, Siri, play Oh, She's Sweet But a Psycho. She'll
I
thank
love
you.
my Cece.
Yeah, she's a problem.
Well, next time that the girls hang out, I'm sure she'll come home and want to hear Barbie Girl. So you're welcome. And good night.
Keep my children away from Janine. That's a rule now.
Hey, it's their request, not mine.
I don't know. You didn't even want to know.
Okay, man, a little bit.
All right, that's it. You got anything else?
No. Have a great night. I'm going to go watch Euphoria now.
All right, that's it for us. Thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. Don't forget to visit the shopanthonyonair.com store. If not, you're a stupid son of a bitch. And we will catch you guys on the next episode. Thank you guys.
Show me potato salad. Maybe we should go now.